Hello. Big Scary back again with another great show. Make sure you smash that like button or that subscribe button so you'll be notified when another amazing episode drops. So, been off for a couple weeks, got a bunch of action to catch up on. So what we can start off with first, in MMA action, fight night, main event with Jared Cannonier against Kelvin Gastelum. Two highly rated guy. I think Cannonier is 3 and Gastelum was 5, something like that. Gastelum had won 5 in a row, and Cannonier had won 5 in a row, and Gastelum had lost 5 of 6. So I mean, they were actually got fighters on different trajectories, but Gastelum, a lot of those fights were against the top guys. I mean, but I've been saying it for a while. I mean, I just really think that he needs to take his diet seriously and fight at 170. I mean, he's too small for the weight class, and I mean, he always puts up amazing fights. I mean, his fight against Israel Adesanya is I mean, Adesanya's toughest fight at middleweight. So I mean, it's not like, but it's just like he could I mean, him against Usman. I mean, you might pick Usman, but I mean, Kevin Gastelum, I mean, that's a war right there. I mean, usually Usman is the bigger guy. I mean, in this case, it would not be Usman. But so yeah, Cannonier was a very close split decision win for Cannonier. I think he was just too big. The shots I mean, he hurt Gastelum a couple times. Even though the Gastelum bounced right back and was right in the fight. And it was a good fight. It was a good fight. And I mean, actually, at the end of the fight, Cannonier actually looked like he'd gotten the worst of the fight. But if you watch the fight, I mean, Cannonier won. Good victory for Cannonier. I guess we'll see. I guess the Adesanya Robert Whittaker fight will be next. So we'll see what goes on with that, and then maybe Cannonier get the winner of that. So yeah, I mean, Whittaker had his way with him when they had fought, but I mean that was 5 fights ago. So we'll see where that goes. Let's see, our next fight night. The main event was Edson Barboza against Giga Chikadze, who's been on a tear of late. He's undefeated in the UFC. I mean, he's got some nice wins. Edson Barboza has been 2-2 at featherweight. And I mean, at every weight. I mean, at lightweight, he was always a tough out. But it's always been like he just can't get to that next level. He's like the gatekeeper, and so Giga Chikadze completely dominated him. Finished him in the 3rd round, KO'd him. Look good. We're gonna see. I mean, it's gonna, as long as they put him in there against guys that aren't really necessarily looking to take him down. But I mean, I don't know that Volkanovski's going to be looking to take him down. That could be a tough fight right there. Max Holloway against Giga Chikadze. I mean, all the top guys at featherweight are going to be guys who are willing to stand up. Now, I mean, Brian Ortega, that he's more of a ground guy, but I mean, he's actually about to fight Volkanovski. But I'm just calling out guys in the division. He has a ground game, but it's not necessarily a wrestling-based ground game. So I don't know if he could. I mean, Chikadze's shown good takedown defense, so we'll see. But yeah, no, look good. Nice win for Giga Chikadze. Then let's see, the co-main on that card was the tough middleweight championship. Brian Battle against Gilbert Urbina. And Battle had started off kind of gotten hurt there early, but then second round rear naked choke. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's been guys who've made it from champions from tough, but I mean, it's tough to tell. I mean, I don't know that he's ready. I mean, he's definitely not ready for a title, but I mean, it's gonna be, he's a long ways away. And then the bantamweight champion was Ricky Tercios against Brady Heisfeld or whatever, and split decision win for Ricky Tercios. Showed hard. It was a nice win. I mean, it's good to have Tough back again. More MMA is always good. The teams were coached by Volkanovski and Brian Ortega, so I can't wait for that card. That's who else? Shevchenko is fighting on that card. I think Robbie Lawler, Nick Diaz. I mean, I'll cover that card later on, but that's going to be an exciting card. Let's see what else. We had Kevin Lee against Daniel Rodriguez. Kevin Lee, he lost again. Daniel Rodriguez looked good. He's only had one loss in the UFC. Kevin Lee, his lost 5 of his last 7. I mean, ever since he lost that what was it, when he lost to Tony Ferguson for the what was it, the interim lightweight belt, and he lost. And I mean, he started off good, but then he lost that, and he's just been on a downward swing since then. I mean, that's I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. But yeah, no, Daniel Rodriguez has looked good. So let's see. Then our last fight night was Derek Brunson against Darren Till. Darren Till, ever since he fought for the title, he's just been on a down. Him too. He's been on. I mean, when he lost to Tyrone Woodley, and he's lost 4 or 5 since then. He's made a weight class change, and still he's 1-2 at middleweight. I mean, he started off undefeated. I mean, start off like a killer. But I mean, that's MMA. That's the UFC. There's been guys. I mean, Charles Oliveira is an amazing example. Guys who just kept at it, started off young, and I mean, now he's the champion. Michael Bisping had a long fluctuating career. I mean, that's how MMA is. I mean, we're really talking about martial arts here, like the movies, and you become a master and you have to go through all these challenges. I mean, it's not like very few guys. I mean, okay, John Jones, he's remained undefeated. I mean, other than his disqualification loss, which was, I mean, he was dominating the guy. And Khabib, I mean, he's undefeated. I mean, but usually, I mean, it usually doesn't happen like that. In boxing, guys are able to get their records built up a little bit more. In the UFC, that it doesn't happen like that. Once you reach the big show, you're fighting killers. So, yeah, but we'll see. Derek Brunson looked good. Won in the 3rd round with a rear naked choke. He's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He's calling out Israel Adesanya. I mean, Adesanya dominated him. So we'll see what happens with Whitaker against Adesanya. I'm picking Adesanya in that one, but so let's see. Our next fight night will be Anthony Smith against Ryan Spahn. Ryan Spahn has 1 loss in the UFC, and Anthony Smith, I mean, he's always tough, always tough. I mean, gave John Jones a great fight. I mean, so he's always tough. So that should be a good fight. That should be a pretty good fight. If I had to pick, I assume it'll be Ryan Spahn. I think he's got a little less miles on him, but you never know. I mean, Anthony Smith is crafty, but I'll go with Ryan Spahn with the win. Let's see, in boxing action, the Pacquiao Yordenis Ugas fight. That was supposed to be Errol Spence, but Errol Spence fell out with COVID. Not COVID, with injured his eye. That's right, he injured his eye. Had to get surgery. Pacquiao. So he got in there, last minute fighter, who was younger, bigger, and just wanted it more. And Pacquiao I think we're starting to see him get old. He keeps turning back the clock, but I mean, he's finally starting to look old, and he lost a unanimous decision. Might be time to hang it up. Unless he's doing some of these exhibitions. I mean, I mean, go for that. I mean, go make that money. I mean, there's a bunch of money in those exhibitions. Bring those exhibitions. I mean, which I guess this wasn't an exhibition, but it's still guys who aren't real, or not even to say aren't real fighters, aren't regular boxers. Jake Paul against Tyron Woodley. Split decision win for Jake Paul. A lot of talk that it was that Tyron Woodley let him win. I mean, he had him hurt and just didn't jump on him. I mean, as someone who's seen a lot of Tyron Woodley fights, yeah, I mean, I guess he does normally swarm when he has someone hurt, because he does in MMA. He never, like, he was very slow and would wait for just the perfect shot and then jump ahead and put pressure. And you kind of expected, but I don't. I mean, I'm not. It is what it is. I mean, Jake Paul beat him. I mean, it was disappointing. You don't want to see someone of Tyron Woodley's caliber losing to someone like Jake Paul. But it is what it is. Let's see, we got Vitor Belfort coming up versus Oscar, or it was supposed to be Oscar De La Hoya, but he fell out with COVID, and now it's going to be against Evander Holyfield. I don't even know what to look for. I mean, that's a completely different matchup. Vitor Belfort against Evander Holyfield than Oscar De La Hoya. Because, yeah, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya is like 10 years younger than Evander Holyfield, but Evander Holyfield's way bigger, and I assume in better shape. I mean, he was fighting up until, I don't know if it's probably like 5-6 years or something. De La Hoya, I mean, he has looked rough lately. So, I mean, we'll see. I have no idea what to expect out of that fight. And then we have Anderson Silva against Tito Ortiz. I think it's like 200 is a catch weight, or 195, something like that. Anderson Silva looked great against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So I mean, in boxing, I assume he's going to dominate Tito Ortiz. I mean, that's what I'd be expecting. But so let's see, college football. We had Alabama beating Miami 44-13. It looks like they're right on their way to marching for a title again. Bryce Young set an Alabama record with 4 touchdown passes in his first game. We had North Carolina already started off the season with a loss. Got upset by Virginia Tech, so that's upsetting. And what else? Clemson lost to Georgia 10-3. So Georgia, are they going to make a run this year? I mean, Clemson, are they already out of it? I mean, that's in the ACC. You can't really afford to lose these early games, because they're not going to be able to make them up, because there's not really. I mean, North Carolina. I don't even know if they played North. I mean, I guess they would if in the championship. But yeah, now North Carolina lost, and Miami lost. So yeah, we'll see. In NFL action, big news: Cam Newton got cut. So the Patriots are going with Mac Jones. Let's go run down all the games from the Thursday game. It'll be Cowboys at Buccaneers. Buccaneers coming off of first Super Bowl win. I guess that's their second Super Bowl. What they won back in 01 or 02 with Keenan McCardle and John Gruden. But in a while, and Tom Brady's seventh Super Bowl. So they're and then they brought everyone back. So we're gonna see if they can repeat playing against the Cowboys, who, I mean, there's only questions about how good they're going to be. Ezekiel Elliott had signed that big contract, and he just hasn't been the same since then. Dak Prescott, who was so averse to injury for the beginning part of his career, now seems like he's injury prone. First with the ankle, now with the mysterious shoulder injury. Is he going to be able to that defense that lit up Pat Mahomes, is he going to be ready for it after not playing at all in a while? And now I think Zach Martin's out for COVID. Looking like the Bucs are probably going to start the season off. They're 8-point favorites. I assume they're going to win that game. So then we go, let's see, Jaguars at Texans. The Jags are 3-point favorites. I'll definitely go with that. The Texans are gonna look like they're gonna be horrible this year. Deshaun Watson's not there. I think they're starting Tyrod Taylor. The Jaguars, I mean, looking, hopefully, I mean, they went 1-15 last year, but we got Trevor Lawrence. I guess Travis Etienne is hurt. But we'll see Urban Meyer, what kind of team he puts on the field. Looking for some big things with them. Then we got the Bears against the Rams. The Rams are 7.5-point favorites. A lot of expectations for the Rams this year. A lot of pressure, I feel like, on Sam Bradford, because I mean he's always been able to put up numbers with the Lions, but nothing was ever expected out of them really. I mean, the Rams. I mean, they've got everything. I mean, that their issue has been Goff, and now supposedly Sam Bradford, or not Sam Bradford. What am I? No, not Sam Bradford. It's from the Lions. Oh, what? Yes, Matt Stafford. Yes, I'm pretty sure I said him the first time, but yes. So yeah, I mean, is he going to be the missing piece, the link that they needed to that elusive Super Bowl? I mean, they got the defense. We'll see. Let's see. The Eagles against the Falcons, or at the Falcons. The Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. Yeah, I mean the Eagles. They just traded for Gardner Minshew, which I'm not sure why. When I mean they have Joe Flacco. I mean, well, they have Jalen Hurts starting, and then they have Joe Flacco. So I don't even know why they. I mean, it was an odd trade for both teams. I mean, I guess it was. I mean, I guess the Eagles got the better of it, but I don't know why they needed to. I mean, the Jaguars. I didn't understand why they traded Minshew away for a conditional sixth. I mean, if they were going to trade him, why didn't they? They knew they were getting Trevor Lawrence. Why didn't they trade Minshew away on game day? Probably could have gotten a higher pick, and then it would have been on someone who would have affected this season. I mean, that was just a weird trade to me. But whatever. Yeah. So Eagles. Oh yeah. And what else? Yeah. So Eagles against Falcons. I assume Falcons will probably win that. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention about how Justin Fields he hopefully we'll see how long it takes for him to get to play in a Bears uniform. Andy Dalton, is he? I mean, how long is it going to take for him to not look good, and then Justin Fields to be on the field? So then let's see. Our next game is the Steelers at the Bills. Buffalo's a 6.5-point favorite. Is Ben Roethlisberger going to come back as good as he's been? They start off the season really good, but then they just laid one toward the end of the season. And the Bills, I mean, the Bills are the real deal. Josh Allen, he's coming back. We're gonna see how good they are. I assume the Bills will win that. We got the Vikings at the Bengals. The Vikings are a 3-point favorite. Dalvin Cook should be back. Joe Burrow is going to be back. So, I mean, the Bengals should be able. I mean, he was looking good last year. I guess I'll go against the spread, and I'll say that the Bengals are going to win at home. Then we got the 49ers at the Lions. San Fran's a 7.5-point favorite. They got still Jimmy Garoppolo starting in San Francisco. Trey Lance is waiting in the wings. How long is it going to take for him to get in action? The Lions have Jared Goff and absolutely nothing else. Yeah, I assume that's going to be a 49ers win. Then we got the Cardinals at the Titans. The Titans are only a 3-point favorite. I don't know, man. The Titans, they had the defense, and that now they not only to go with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill has A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. I mean, their offense should look pretty amazing. The Cardinals, I'm not even sure what's going on with Larry Fitzgerald. He hasn't retired yet, but he's not playing right now. I mean, the guy's almost 40, so I don't know what he's doing. But I mean, they still have Kyler Murray. DeAndre Hopkins is there. I mean, they got AJ, the carcass of AJ Green, or the corpse, whatever it is. I mean, we'll see if he's got anything left in him. But I don't know. Maybe that'll be a good game. I'm still picking the Titans. We got the Seahawks at the Colts. Seahawks are 2.5-point favorites. I'll go with the Seahawks. I mean, I don't even know that if Carson Wentz, I know he'd had COVID. I don't know how he's going to be back from that or not. So I'd pick the Seahawks. The Chargers at Washington. The Chargers at Washington. The Chargers are a 1-point favorite. Justin Herbert. I'm going with Justin Herbert. He looked good last year. I mean, I don't know what to expect from Washington. They have like Tyler Hinkie or something. I mean, I don't even know what. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. The Jets versus the Panthers. The Panthers are 5-point favorites. That Zach Wilson will be starting for the Jets. I don't even know who's starting for the Panthers. I can't even. Who do they even have on their team? Oh yeah, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is trying to restart his career. So we'll see. Didn't pan out too well with the Jets. So he's getting to start against his old team. All right. So then that leads us to the Browns against the Chiefs. I guess I'll go with I'll go with the upset with the Jets over the Panthers. The Browns at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 6-point favorites. The Browns have a bunch of hoopla this year. Is Baker Mayfield gonna be able to finally put things together? Not against the Chiefs. I look for the Chiefs to win by possibly 2 touchdowns at home. Then we got the Dolphins against the Patriots versus at the Patriots. The Patriots are 3-point favorite. Patriots cut Cam Newton, start Mac Jones. They said he looks Brady-esque, so we'll see. There's some other guys who were out because they lost a lot of guys out last year who opted out due to COVID. So we'll see how they look. The Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa. Is he going to be able to take that next step in his career? Then we have Packers at Saints, or it's actually not at the Saints. It's I'll pick the Patriots. We got the Packers versus the Saints. Green Bay's a 4-point favorite. That game's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, because I don't even think the Superdome got messed out too bad, but they're just not having it there, so it's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. I assume Packers, Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking good. Jameis Winston is starting for the New Orleans. So until I see him be successful in the NFL, I'm not picking him. So I'm going with the Packers. Got the Broncos at the Giants. Denver's a 2.5-point favorite. I mean, that's 2 bottom-level teams. I mean, I actually kind of expect the Giants to be a little better this year. But I'll take the Giants over the Broncos. So then that brings us to our Monday night football game. Ravens at the Raiders. And Baltimore's a 4.5-point favorite. I assume that Lamar Jackson is going to outduel David Carr. Or is it Derek? Yeah, it's Derek Carr. Yeah, it's Derek Carr, and that's all the action in sports for the last couple weeks. Remember, you can find me on Big Scary on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You can find it on Trauma Television, on Twitter, and on YouTube, because this is Trauma Television production. Keep looking out for, I'm going to slowly drop little workouts, little clips of workouts here and there, and I'm working on putting out the Big Scary Fitness. It'll be out soon, and then it'll be interactive with all my pages. I'll tell you it'll be like a Monday. I'll tell you, oh, okay, watch video 1, watch video 2, watch video 3, and then that'll be it. Then Tuesday, watch video 9, 12, and 14. So it'll be like that. But just remember, as Martin Luther King said, the arc of the man.